Hello, greetings everyone. Welcome. Nice to be with you all again for this last session in celebration of the UN International Yoga Day. We had already explored different aspects of yoga of the mind. I'm Eric, I'm with the Brahma Kumaris here in Canada, and very happy to share some of the practices we have for our yoga experiences. And of course, yoga, as I mentioned already a few times, is usually associated with some physical posture, but in meditation, or in what we call Raja Yoga, we like to think that the mind can also be in a posture, a certain state of consciousness or a state of awareness that is like a posture. And that posture of the mind is also called yoga of the mind, or Raja Yoga. And so in the first session, I shared about how we can connect, the yoga being connection, how we connect the mind and, with a certain type of energy that can be very, very positive, very pure, very powerful. And then we explore different ideas with Judy Johnson in Halifax, Judy Rich in Calgary, how the motivation is very, very important, but also the pace at which, we can think, like a breathing. So it was the breath of yoga, the spiritual breathing in yoga. And we can talk about, so many different aspects associated to the yoga of the mind. But what I thought of sharing with you today is something very simple, and to help you to maybe practice at home 3 different postures of the mind. And I would like to invite you to explore this notion of happiness, how we can just bring the mind into a beautiful state of happiness, but through an approach where we discover that before we can be happy, we need to be peaceful. So it will be 3 P's. The first P will be learning how to be peaceful. Second P will be how to develop the notion of power, energy. So it could be powerful. And the third one will be about purity, a state of consciousness which has to be clean, pure. And with that peace, that power, and that purity, we also find that the quality of happiness we create is very, very different, a spiritual happiness. So when we try to sit the mind in yoga, everyone complains about the same thing: lack of concentration, falling asleep, the mind goes all over the place. I don't have time, I have my kids, I have my job, I have my dog. So many things that are not allowing us, what we think, to meditate or to practice a yoga of the mind. And really, actually, it doesn't take that long. And that's why, this motivation, if you haven't heard the session with Judy Johnson on motivation, it's worth listening to it again. That motivation is required. So I want what? Why would I want to sit in yoga? Because I want to increase my experience of well-being. You can describe it as happiness, as contentment, satisfaction, relaxation, but we want to feel good. We want to enjoy life. We want to enjoy who we are. We want to enjoy everything we go through in life. And that happiness is not easy, and we run after it without realizing we need to just stop chasing after it. But we need to create a space that will naturally produce that happiness. So the yoga of the mind is when we say to the mind, okay, you have to sit down, you have to slow down, you have to focus, you have to select the quality of thoughts, and you have to dig deep into it. So that's the process of sitting your mind in yoga and experiencing this beautiful experience we call meditation. So you have to focus, think deeply about certain things with quality, and slow down the mind. So the mind has that experience of being really more quiet. So throughout the next few minutes, I'd like to invite you to sit down comfortably, and we'll do 3 exercises. So we'll do the first one right now, and creating a state of peace. So how do you create peace of mind? I know it's a big, big topic, but peace of mind is actually by selecting two things. One is the certain type of thoughts I create. And secondly will be having an awareness of the self, which is aligned with the natural energy of the self. And in Raj Yoga, the philosophy we use tells us that the natural state of the soul is peace. Like the natural state of water is pure. Water that comes from the source before it touches anything is a pure water. And we mix things up with the water and it becomes, a soup of something else. But the original state of mind of the soul is peace. So if we were to remove all the negativity, all the unnecessary thoughts, all the worries, all the problems, what you will get is a very peaceful mind. And what makes the mind peaceless is what we have just put into it, what we have just thrown into it, all the stones and the toxic waste we've thrown into our mind. Remove all that, and the mind returns to his state of peace. So let's sit quietly together, and let me do my little DJ here and just add some kind of music in the background. You sit very, very quietly. Oh, we're quiet, right? There's nothing happening. Or if your children are moving around, just tell them to quiet down a little bit. If, like me, your window is open, you may just close it for a second. So there is a little bit of peace around naturally. Hope you can hear the music a little bit, just to create a natural quietness. See, I put behind me a little candle here. Sometimes it's good to have that at home to focus. Or what I have here is the representation of the soul. This beautiful state of the soul, the being of light. So let's focus for just a few minutes. Keep your eyes open. You can look on the screen, look at the little point here, somewhere here, or the candle. Listen to the music. Keep your eyes open so you don't fall asleep. You're awake, you're aware, you're present. You're aware of where you are, your room, the room where you are sitting in at the moment. And we're just going to think slowly. Take a deep breath. It will help you, to just relax. I'm going to share a few thoughts. And in between the sentences I'm using, create your own thoughts. You can repeat what I just said, or dance with me. If I say, I sit down quietly, I slow down my mind, then you repeat to yourself, yes, I like that. I want to make my mind going a little bit slower. Then I add a thought or words or a sentence, and then you complete it, you complement it. All right, ready for the dance? That could be the dance of yoga as well, but now we do the yoga of the mind. So pay attention to the music. Imagine that your mind could also play music in your heart. Imagine that your thoughts be so beautiful, so pleasant, that they sound like the sound of the flute. So in your mind, the sound of the mind, the thoughts, create an atmosphere of peace. can almost feel in the center of my forehead a beautiful, cool, fresh energy. Something is pulling me in the quietness of my mind. I become introverted. My eyes are open, but I see the sanctuary of the mind. I go deep into calling this energy, pulling me, telling me that if you want peace, just look inwards. Look inside your mind. Let your mind sing the song of peace. Let your mind dance the dance of peace. Even my physical breath is becoming deeper and slower. I'm giving peace to my body. I imagine this energy of peace flowing through the whole body, each and every vein. And I visualize in the forehead, in the sacred center of the being, where I am the soul, the flame of peace, like a sacred flame. And I hear the call of peace. My mind is telling me, come inside. Stay with me. The flame of peace. And I can feel how beautiful this peace invades my mind completely. As if there's a beautiful light shining in the center of my forehead, radiating peace. I'm a soul in peace. All right, so you see, nothing difficult, right? Just a few minutes. I hope you could experience something or feel something. Just a state of peace. And of course, it takes time, it takes practice, you need help, you cannot do it alone. But the more we take a few moments to just make that, space in the mind a more peaceful space, It's like we're cultivating that inner peace. And it's like a flower, for a plant. If you keep giving it water again and again, regularly, don't have to water the plant the whole day. It's not going to help at all. We don't need to sit the whole day to be peaceful. Just a few minutes from here, now, and then, just to keep watering the mind, keeping the mind focused, nurturing the mind with that experience of peace on a regular basis. And it really helps when the mind is in demand, when there's a stressful moment, a stressful situation, just to have that ability to to flip the mind in a second and say, okay, back to my little inner sanctuary of peace. So the yoga of the mind, or the posture of the mind in yoga of peace, has to be practiced, understood, focusing, slowing down the mind, directing the mind steadily, and creating high quality thoughts. That's it. That's not more difficult. What really drains the energy of the mind is the unnecessary thoughts and the negative thoughts. That's it. Worries, stress, anxiety, negativity, hatred, dislike, judgment, regret, so many things. They are the enemies of the mind. And yes, people would say, well, you cannot not have those. And we say, yes, you can. It's definitely, you can. It's like somebody says, well, how can I avoid eating junk food? It's impossible. I don't think so. You can make a choice not to eat junk food. It's a choice. But yes, the mind has been contaminated for a long time. So creating peace of mind is not saying to the mind, don't think negative, don't have waste thoughts. That's not going to work. But creating peace of mind is creating peaceful thoughts, focusing on high quality thoughts, positive, elevated thoughts for just a few minutes. And that will give the mind a new habit, a new hobby. And my experience, I've been practicing for many decades, that if the mind becomes addicted to positive thoughts, pure thoughts, then at the time of needs, there's a pull to think positive rather than a pull to think negative. Just a pull. Once you learn that by putting your hand on fire, you burn yourself. Well, when you see a big fire, you have a pull to say, I'm not going to put my hand in there. It's going to burn. Same with the mind. So with peace, what we need is also strength, power, energy, because the mind is weak. And the mind will start having a good diet. And very quickly, because of being weak, it will be influenced. It will become dependent. And it will become attached. So these energies of influencing, dependency, and being attached create deep weaknesses in the mind. Shortcomings, weaknesses, defects. That's what happens. So they become habits. We have a beautiful expression in French. It become a behavioral habit, something like that. But they're born in the mind. Before lying, the thought will come of not saying the truth. The lie will be born in the mind first and will come out through the mouth. Before slapping someone, anger will be felt in the mind, in the heart, as ever you want to call it. That anger, that negativity, that emotional turmoil will be felt. And as a consequence, I will maybe, do something wrong. I will regret afterwards. But it starts with the mind. A mind being the energy of the soul, the part of the soul that generates thoughts and feelings with the intellect. May want to visit a Raja Yoga center and take the lesson on the soul. That's very, very useful. How the soul is working, how does it function. So once we understand that the mind is weak and it needs strength, if I can't walk because my legs are weak, it doesn't matter how much somebody is telling me you should walk, you should walk, you should walk. You can't. Your legs are weak. I need to take special medication or diet or exercise to strengthen the legs. So same thing with the mind. So we can try just a few minutes. I won't even play music for this one. Let's just for a few minutes see how we can move from peace to power. So again, just focus very naturally. Keep your eyes open. Look at the screen, the point of light, the candle, or somewhere else. In your house, you may have some beautiful flower or something on the desk. Doesn't matter. You don't need to look at the screen. Look somewhere. But concentrate here in the center of the forehead, because this is where, by the way, the being is sitting. It's very important to know that our mind is not speaking through the mouth. The thought is not in the mouth. It's just a sound coming out from the mouth. The sound comes from a speaker, but it's in the hard drive of the computer or the machine or whatever it is. The speaker is just a speaker. So my thoughts are spoken out, but they come from here. Everything is in that beautiful little location of the being we call the soul, and the soul sits on the throne. We call it a throne, a beautiful dimension where this invisible spiritual being, eternal being, the soul, connects with matter, the body, and then we make it function. If you remove the soul from the body, sorry, there's no life, and the body falls and it's a corpse. So I'm here. So when you sit now, think of you as I'm here. This is where my thoughts are coming from. And I, the soul, I'm creating my thoughts. So look wherever you want, focus. Keep your eyes steady, open. You can blink, of course, no need to force, but just being like daydreaming a little bit. And now let's focus the mind. So very easily, I say to myself that I am a beautiful soul, a being of light, eternal light. And I'm sitting here in my body. And I came into this body to play my part, to play my role in this amazing theater of life. And my life will be just a blink of an eye in eternity. I'm just passing through, visiting this world temporarily and living an amazing spiritual experience. But I forgot. I became so engrossed in what to do, where to go, what to say. I forgot. This is just a beautiful game. And my purpose is to be here, to enjoy life, to be amazed by the beauty of this world, to appreciate the complexity of life, and to feel compassion, mercy for the turmoils that life brings in the life of so many people, including myself. So as a soul sitting in the forehead of my body, I say to myself that I am a beautiful, peaceful soul. But I want to become a powerful soul. I want to have the strength to be my own master, my own sovereign. I want to have the strength to resist the temptation of weaknesses, negativity. I want to have the strength to stand like a sovereign, like a king, a master, ruling over my own self, not with force, just with dignity, just being who I truly am, a being of light, connected to the supreme light, the infinite light, a light of peace, of love. I am a powerful soul, and I want to regain that strength that is mine, the authority of the soul, the capacity to think what I want to think, to say what I really want to say, and to do what is needed. But all this aligned with the highest values that are dear to my heart. I want to have the power to stand free in my dignity. So, what was it? 5 minutes? This is how we practice sitting the mind in yoga. And just for 5 minutes, I was just, we call it churning, just spinning the little milk around until it becomes butter, cream, and just using one focus, experiencing power, energy. And there's so many hundreds of ways to create that 5 minutes of power. Each one is unique. Each one of us will do it differently with our own style. Some are very poetic, some are very romantic, some are very rational, intellectual, doesn't matter. It's just the quality of the mind. It's something we can create ourselves, keeping the mind with powerful, beautiful thoughts. So peace is a bit the foundation. Power becomes, the structure that helps us to build, to grow. If we're always weak, then you're peaceful, but then you break it, you're peaceful, you break it, it's not going to work. So it's good to establish my inner peace, but to create a state of strength as well, to tell myself I am powerful. That's why we call it Raja Yoga. Yoga is connection, but Raja is the king, sitting in my own dignity, my own mastery. So I'm becoming the ruler of myself instead of being always ruled by others and situations and events or whatever. So influence, dependency, and being attached means being attached. I'm not free, I'm in bondages. Breaking that means I become powerful. And the third posture is the one on purity. That's the very interesting one because very few people have any clue of they have no clue what purity is all about. I can drink water and say, yeah, this is pure water. And we want pure water. If there's mud in the water, I'm not going to drink it. So in spirituality, we use the word purity to mean actually my original state of mind before it became contaminated with all these unnecessary limited thoughts. And so purity is connected to my original identity, saying to myself, I am a pure soul. It's not true now. So many think that the soul is always pure. It's okay. It's a philosophy, but we say the memory of the purity of the soul is always there. So that's why we remember that the original state of the soul is always recorded in us. We will never forget that. And those who like this kind of quantum physics these days, they will understand that past, present, future are all in the same, space in myself. So whatever is my past, my future, my present, it's all contained within the soul. So that's why we keep thinking the soul is always pure. The soul cannot become impure. And we say, in a way, it's true. The purity of the soul always exists within me. But it's been altered, it's been covered up, it's been spoiled, it's been, contaminated with other things. And now the yoga, the connection, helps me to hear that ancient memory of the soul, reminding me of how it is to be in my purest state of awareness. And that's why the peaceful stage is necessary, although they all work with each other. You can say purity comes first, then you get peace, power. They go many different ways. It's kind of a chicken egg with different type of eggs and chicken. So they all go together all the time, but they're connected. So if I'm peaceful, I will find a way to remove easily negativity. I will strengthen my energy, my inner beings. I become powerful. And then I can allow that purity to grow. I can have that's a fortress, the fort that will protect the soul from the enemy, the attacks from outside, events, situation, people, so that I can recreate that inner purity quietly. I can, if you're in a surgery room, you don't want people to walk in and disturb you. It's a very controlled environment to do some delicate surgery. So similarly, we need to create that environment so that we can hear the original state of mind. So let's try another experience in meditation and see how we can be, in that state of mind beautifully and naturally, experiencing the quality of the mind in its purest form. So again, I'm going to do my DJ here and hopefully find the right way to share this picture. So when I see the soul, this is a little bit how it looked like. And enjoying the state of the soul in its natural form. And then with a bit of music. This time you can focus on the point of light on the screen. And I say to myself that this is who I am. A beautiful being of light. A beautiful being of peace. Experiencing how the mind is responding to the call of eternity, the call of silence. And in that silence, I want to return to the essence of who I am. It's the name of the body, the shape of the body, nationality, religion, profession, the roles that I'm playing. They are a part of me, but they're not the original me. And I came into this world. I came into this body as a soul. And one day I will return to the world where I come from, where I'm just a soul. I'm thinking of myself as a soul. I see myself as this beautiful being of light. It's like a beautiful star in the sky. Beautiful light shining. The light of life. I am life itself. A living energy, extremely powerful, extremely peaceful. And now I become aware of my original purity. Pure in the sense of authentic. Pure in the sense that I don't feel any negativity in my heart. My heart is completely clean because it's completely peaceful. I can only feel benevolence as if I'm a huge ocean of love, able to give love to everyone. I'm like an immense ocean of peace, giving peace to everyone. I'm pure, totally pure. That's the beauty of the light. And if I think it's only for creating good wishes for myself and for others, and what I feel is the beauty of purity. As being so pure, this is my freedom. Purity is my freedom. Because I don't have any bondages or pull, nothing except being me, being pure, being powerful, being peaceful. And in that state of mind, I can almost feel as if this beautiful light coming towards me, filling my heart with a new and beautiful form of happiness, natural happiness, being merged with life, merged with light, feeling just the call of my eternal state of mind, peaceful, powerful, and pure. And I really experience how happiness comes from the soul. A beautiful state of being. A blissful state of purity. So, hope you could feel something and enjoy the experience. This is, of course, a little bit zoom in, zoom out, or just trying to experience how to share something very personal, very intimate in a way. But I wish all of you, whoever is listening and watching, to find the time to explore this beautiful concept of giving the mind the time to be at peace, to be strong, powerful, and to be pure, so that the happiness we create becomes a real spiritual, long-lasting happiness. Again, I just want to really thank the Commission of India here in Canada, in Ottawa. It's been really a privilege to be able to share some of these thoughts with all of you, and in collaboration with the Commission of India, and then being able to celebrate this International Day of Yoga. So wishing all of you well, beautiful journey. You can also, of course, see us if you want to find a little bit more about, how we continue on the journey together, and how we can, be at peace with one another. You can find us in different social media. And yes, let's celebrate together our own inner beauty, our own inner strength, our own inner purity. So wishing you well to all of you, hoping to come across somewhere another exchange. And until then, I would say namaste, om shanti to each and everyone, and enjoy the celebration all over the world, but in your heart. This is the main place to feel it. Om shanti. See you next time.